On the 8th of March, the nation was shaken when a tycoon superstar business owner was found lifeless in his hotel room at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. However, it is not his untimely passing that shook the nation. It was who he was allegedly with during that fateful day. That time, the news was vague, incomplete, and it was shrouded in mystery. Fortunately, I have connections and I took upon myself to find out what really happened. I reached out to a client of mine who works at the Records Bureau, and I was able to get a copy of the unedited and raw version of the report that transpired during the incident. The names that I saw on the report shook me to the bones, for I recognized all of them all too well, including the name of someone who will not be mentioned in this video but is heavily implicated. Though I knew that it would place my life on the line, I started talking about the incident on my page almost every day.
Moonay nagpadagan sa nasod diha karon sa atoang sa Pilipinas. Moonay nagpadagan sa atoang nasod. We deserve better. We deserve a better leader.
For I believe that the Filipino people deserve to know, and that it would be in their best interest to know the truth.
But the truth was not well received.
I decided to wait for the medical statements, for I knew it was only a matter of time. Come forward to July, 4 months after, the Los Angeles Coroner's Office released the cause of Tantoco's untimely passing, and it spread like wildfire.
Drug overdose. Yan ang lumabas sa pagsusuri ng Estados Unidos kaugnay sa pagkamatay ni Rustan's Executive Paolo Tantoco nitong Marso. Alamin natin yan sa Agenda Weekend Report ni Ivy Reyes.
Namatay sa cocaine overdose si Rustan's Corporation heir Paolo Tantoco noong Marso. Iyan ang resulta ng toxicology report nito ayon sa Los Angeles County Coroner's Office. 4 na buwan ang mapabalita ang pagpanaw nito noong March 9 Philippine time, listed a significant condition ang posibleng komplikasyon sa puso sa accidental death ni Tantoco. Ayon sa Hollywood LA News, kasama si Tantoco sa entourage ni First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos nang ipagdiwang nito ang Manila International Film Festival sa Beverly Hilton Hotel. Sa isang video sa social media account ng First Lady, present sa MIFF celebration, sina Senate President Cheese Escudero, Senate Pro Tempore Jingo Estrada, Tourism Secretary Cristina Frasco, MMDA Chairman Romando Artes at iba't ibang Pinoy celebrities. Noong Mayo, pinabulaanan ng Malacanang ang mga aligasyon ni Vice President Sara Duterte na involved ang First Lady sa pagkamatay ni Tantoco.
Sa kanya pala nang galing ang fake news. Siya pala ang source ng fake news na ito na pinapakalat.
Kumalat kasi ang haka-haka online na na-dictate sa Los Angeles CFL na ayon sa mga fact-checker ay distorted at manipulated photos and videos.
Tandaan po natin, dumating si First Lady sa Pilipinas March 10, 2025. Kung gusto niya pong alamin yan bilang Vice Presidente, may records po yan. March 11, nagkaroon po ng event si First Lady with the representatives of Girl Scouts of the Philippines. That's May 11, 2025. Pwede po ba natin ipakita?
Assistant Vice President ng Response Group si Tantoco. Dati rin siyang Chief Operating Officer ng Pacific Links Gulf Development at Chief Security and Procurement Officer ng Santa Elena Golden Country Estate. Ang asawa naman nito, dating Communications Manager ng Response Group at kasalukuyang Malacanang Deputy Social Secretary. Wala pang pahayag ang palasyo tungkol dito. Para sa Agenda Weekend, Ivy Reyes, Billionaire News Channel.
The details that I talked about the cause of his passing the months prior was confirmed. However, the only information that was missing was the people that he was with when it happened. Seemingly, the vital information was deliberately being suppressed.
Nakakalungkot dahil yung mga pribadong tao na nagluluksa ay nadadamay sa pamumulitika. Ginagamit ng ibang mga obstructionists para masira ang First Lady, ang Pangulo at ang administrasyon na ito. Nakakahiya ang kanilang mga ginagawa. Ang sinasabing police report na naipost sa Facebook ay isang malaking kasinungalingan.
Fake documents of the police report were made public to throw off the case's facts. But the Filipinos went on a frenzy and demanded answers and accountability from the administration that is obviously protecting a criminal. Around the same time, like an anti-hero to the rescue, the statement of Paolo's wife from the Los Angeles medical examiners surfaced and admitted to using illegal drugs. When I saw the news of her owning up to what happened leading to the tragic incident, I immediately went online and called her out for lying.
Yun na nga po. This is a classic misdirection eh. Ito na lang isipin niyo Ikaw na asawa. Di alam ng mga tao na nag-detect kayo dyan. Di alam ng mga tao, pero you have a choice to let everyone know that, no, hindi ako nagtutrogas. Hindi ako tumitira. Pero, you chose to admit to everyone publicly that you're doing drugs. So this is a classic blame it on the fall guy. Di naman fall guy, asawa. And to think, you're an appointed official. Grabe, no? Yan lang yan ang isipin niyo She admitted doing Coca-Cola and Mary Jane. Isn't that weird? Di ba kayo na-weirded out sa situation na to? Sa pag-admit ng asawa? Parang, obvious na obvious talaga na, okay, I'm gonna take the blame on everything just to save ni Satanas. Yung ganun, yung obvious na obvious talaga Ewan ko lang talaga kung saan na ito papunta kasi it's what really happened there in Beverly Hilton versus the statement of the family members.
For it was obvious they were trying to cover up what really happened that day. If you have been following my timeline on this case since March, you already know that a group of Asian-looking men went to the Beverly Hills Police Department on the first week of April and had a closed-door meeting with their supervisor, who one of the men was positively ID'd by my client with the name that has the initials of J and R. After the visit, detailed accounts of the incident were then prohibited to be provided to the public after the case was superseded by a higher investigating team. On the updated police report that the Beverly Hills Police Department can only provide states, the records you are requesting are part of an investigatory file and a record pertaining to an investigation by law enforcement under CPRA Government Code Section 7923.600 exempts and therefore does not require the disclosure of any records. In layman's terms, they are no longer able to provide detailed report on the incident since this is still an ongoing case. Just as when we thought Paolo Tantoco would never be able to tell his story, around July of this year, the County of Los Angeles Medical Examiner released its official findings and made the document public by request. I requested an official copy and cross-referenced it with a police report that I acquired from my client who works at the Records Bureau. All of the details in the document that I have made public since March have all been confirmed. The cause of Paolo's untimely passing, the timelines of the incidents, the exact room number, and the most important detail that confirmed the factuality of the document that had been in my possession since March, the exact time of Paolo's passing. However, even with all these facts confirming each report, the statement of Paolo's wife in the medical examiner's report does not seem to match the statements of the witnesses in the raw police report from the Beverly Hills Police Department. According to the County of Los Angeles Medical Examiner's report, Deen Tantoco said in her statement, and I quote, "The decedent and his wife have been visiting family in the United States from the Philippines, and since the 3rd of March 2025, the decedent and his wife have been staying in a hotel." End quote. This statement from Dina is an obvious and adamant lie, for we know that she and the decedent were in fact part of an entourage the night prior. In the same report, she also said that at approximately 2 in the morning, the decedent used an illegal drug before going to sleep but ended up using Mary Jane at approximately 3 or 4 in the morning, which does not add up. Why would someone use a known stimulant drug before going to bed and end up using a downer to help him go to sleep? If we compare the timeline of Deen's statement versus the statement of one of the witnesses in the police report, it was around this time that one of the witnesses saw Paolo Tantoco start to convulse, and I quote, "The witness remained at the after party in room 504 along with the leader of the entourage together with the other witnesses. He reported that between 4:45 to 5:15 in the morning, Mr. Tantoco began convulsing and confirmed that one of the witnesses suggested calling emergency services but was reportedly discouraged by the leader of the entourage, who said that the said behavior was a typical reaction to excessive recreational substance use." Deen's statement from the medical examiner's report continues, and I quote, "She believes her husband got up at approximately 11 in the morning and went to the bathroom, but is unable to confirm if he was using drugs. She said she woke up from the decedent coming out of the bathroom saying he wasn't feeling well and collapsed thereafter, to which, according to the decedent's wife, prompted her to immediately call the front desk for medical assistance." But if we cross-reference her statements versus the written statements of the witnesses in the police report, that's not what happened. The witness emphasized that his concern for the victim's deteriorating condition. He noted that Mr. Tantoco's convulsions appeared intermittent and has diminished over the next few hours. But at around 11 in the morning, he noticed that the subject was completely unresponsive. At that point, he made the phone call to the hotel front desk, prompting the emergency response. Deen's accounts from the medical examiner's report seemingly have the same timeline, corroborating the incidents stated in the police report. However, it is evident that she eliminated the witnesses and the leader of the entourage from her statements and made it seem like there was a high probability of Paolo Tantoco's survival in her story. But if we compare her lone statements from the medical examiner's report versus the written statements of multiple witnesses in the police report, the timeline in the police report confirms that they had almost 7 hours to save Paolo Tantoco's life. It is obvious that this is not just a party gone wrong. No, it is more than that. This may be a cover-up for a murder. So tell me, who is telling the truth here? The statement of a supposed bereaving wife who may be covering a murder case? Or the statements of multiple witnesses written in a police report who saw how the entire incident transpired? You be the judge.